What if there was a force in the universe that could never be used up, no matter how much you relied on it? Imagine a source of energy that is limitless, always available, and quietly guiding everything around us. This is the essence of the Tao, an infinite force that shapes all of existence. The Tao is often described as empty, yet its use is endless. It's like a well that never runs dry, no matter how many people draw water from it. Though it has no form, it seems to be the source of everything in the universe, from the smallest grain of sand to the largest mountain. The Tao doesn't push or force things to happen, yet it influences everything in subtle ways. A simple example is the way rivers flow effortlessly, carving out valleys over time without rushing or trying. This quiet power of the Tao shapes everything without needing to take credit for it. But how can something that is empty be so powerful? If the Tao has no form or substance, how does it affect the world around us? The answer lies in the idea that the Tao doesn't force itself upon anything, yet its influence is everywhere. Just as the air around us is invisible but essential for life, the Tao is a quiet presence that supports and guides all things. Its power comes from being flexible, adaptable, and limitless. The Tao can take any shape, influence any situation, and be present in every moment without being noticed. When we compare the Tao's infinite nature to other forces we know, like electricity, wind, or water, it becomes clear that even these powerful energies have limits. Electricity can run out, wind can die down, and water can dry up, but the Tao continues endlessly. It's not a physical force that can be measured or contained, which is what makes it so unique. The Tao doesn't exhaust itself because it's not trying to achieve a specific outcome. It simply flows naturally, always present and always available. But if the Tao is so invisible and subtle, how can we be sure it even exists? Isn't it possible that the Tao is just a metaphor or an idea? While the Tao might seem abstract, Taoism teaches that its presence can be felt in the natural world. We can't see the wind, but we feel it when it touches our skin. We can't see gravity, but we know it's there when we drop something. Similarly, the Tao is felt in the effortless way that life unfolds, in the balance of nature, and in the flow of time. Though we may not see the Tao directly, its effects are all around us. In conclusion, the Tao is a boundless force that quietly influences everything in the universe, from the flow of rivers to the unfolding of life itself. Though invisible, it is a constant presence, always available and never exhausted. Next, we'll explore how nature's impartial attitude reflects the Tao's indifferent yet nurturing character, and what that teaches us about life's natural flow. Have you ever wondered why some leaders seem to gain respect effortlessly while others struggle to be followed? What if the secret to great leadership wasn't about taking charge, but about putting others first? Taoism suggests that true leadership comes from selflessness and humility. In Taoism, the idea is that heaven and earth last so long because they do not live for themselves. Similarly, a wise leader doesn't put themselves first. They focus on the needs of others. It's like the saying, "The last shall be first." By putting others before themselves, they end up being ahead in the long run. For example, imagine a leader who shares the credit for a team's success instead of taking it all. This kind of selfless behavior earns the trust and loyalty of the people, who are then more willing to follow and support them. It's a leadership style that doesn't seek power, but receives it naturally. But how exactly does putting others first make someone a better leader? If a leader is always serving others, won't people take advantage of them? According to Taoism, when a leader acts without selfish motives, people can sense it. This kind of leadership builds a stronger bond with the people because they know the leader genuinely cares about them. It's like being in a family where the parents' main concern is the well-being of the children. The children feel secure and valued and, in return, they respect and trust their parents. The same goes for leadership. Selflessness earns respect and creates a loyal community. When we compare this Taoist approach to leadership with more common views, there is a noticeable difference. Many people think that a good leader needs to be assertive, take charge, and make their presence known. This might work in some cases, but it often leads to resistance, as people don't like to feel controlled. The Taoist style is quieter and more subtle, leading without forcing. It's about guiding from behind, allowing others to grow and shine while offering support when needed. This doesn't mean the leader is weak. Rather, It shows a different kind of strength, one that comes from helping others succeed. But doesn't a leader sometimes need to be assertive and take control? Can selflessness be effective in all situations? Taoism acknowledges that there are times when a leader must step forward and make decisions, but even then, it should be done with the good of the group in mind, not for personal gain. Selflessness doesn't mean never taking action. It means acting with humility and keeping the needs of others at the forefront. This way, even strong decisions are made with compassion and understanding, leading to better outcomes for everyone involved. In conclusion, selflessness in leadership, as taught in Taoism, involves putting others first and guiding with humility. It's a style that may seem quiet but has a powerful impact on creating trust and loyalty. Next, we'll explore how water's gentle yet effective nature serves as a metaphor for the highest form of goodness, showing us how to live harmoniously by going with the flow. Have you ever thought about how water, one of the softest substances on Earth, can shape mountains and carve valleys over time? Despite its gentleness, water has a unique power that can teach us a lot about living a good and virtuous life. Taoism sees water as the highest form of goodness, showing us how to live in harmony by simply flowing with life. Water is considered an ideal example of virtue in Taoism because it benefits all things without competing. It nourishes plants and animals, finds the lowest places, and adapts to the shape of any container it fills. Even though it is soft and yielding, it can wear down the hardest rock over time, showing that true strength can come from gentleness. Water goes to places that people usually avoid, like the depths and low spots, yet it does so without resistance. By living like water, helping others, staying humble, and being flexible, we can cultivate a life of balance and goodness. But why is being like water considered the highest form of goodness? Doesn't strength come from being firm and unchanging? In Taoism, strength is seen differently. It is not about being rigid or tough, but about being adaptable and resilient. Water can change its shape and flow around obstacles, while a rigid object might break under pressure. By being flexible like water, we can navigate life's challenges without being overwhelmed. Just as water finds its way around rocks in a river, we can find paths through difficulties by staying calm and adjusting to our circumstances. When compared to traditional views of strength, this Taoist idea offers a different perspective. Many people see strength as the ability to stand firm and fight back against problems. While there is value in being determined, Taoism suggests that being too rigid can make us more likely to break under pressure. Water's way of handling challenges is gentler, but it's also more enduring. It's like the story of the tortoise and the hare. Water's soft persistence, like the tortoise's steady pace, ultimately achieves more than forceful effort. But can being too flexible make us seem weak or indecisive? Don't we sometimes need to stand our ground? Taoism doesn't argue against taking a stand, but it emphasizes knowing when to be firm and when to yield. Water is not always gentle. It can be a powerful wave or a strong current when needed. The key is to adjust our approach to fit the situation. There are times for being firm and times for going with the flow. By understanding this balance, we can be both strong and adaptable, just like water. In conclusion, water serves as a powerful example of virtue in Taoism, teaching us that true strength comes from adaptability, humility, and persistence. By following water's way, we can live harmoniously and overcome life's challenges with ease. Next, we will discuss how balancing action and inaction can help us achieve more by doing less, a concept known as Wu Wei in Taoism. Have you ever felt that, despite all your efforts, things start to fall apart when you push too hard or hold on too tightly? What if the secret to a more fulfilling life is knowing when to let go and find balance, instead of always striving for more? Taoism teaches that moderation and stepping back can help us achieve lasting success. In Taoism, there's a saying that trying to fill a cup beyond its capacity will cause it to spill, and sharpening a blade too much will make it dull. The message is clear. Knowing when to stop is just as important as knowing when to act. For instance, if you keep adding to your schedule without taking breaks, you'll likely end up exhausted and stressed. Similarly, holding on to wealth or power with pride often leads to downfall. Taoism encourages us to seek balance by stepping back and allowing things to flow naturally, instead of forcing them. But why is it so hard for us to find this balance? Why do we often feel the need to keep pushing ourselves to achieve more, even when it leads to burnout? It's common in modern culture to equate success with constant progress and growth. People often think that if they're not moving forward, they're falling behind. However, Taoism suggests that this approach ignores the natural rhythms of life, which include both activity and rest. Like the cycles of day and night, or the changing of the seasons, life has natural pauses that allow for renewal. Ignoring these cycles leads to imbalance and, eventually, to problems. The Taoist approach to balance contrasts with the common idea that more is better. In today's world, people are often encouraged to work longer hours, earn more money, and constantly strive for bigger achievements. While this can lead to short-term gains, it may also result in stress, health problems, and unhappiness. Taoism offers a different perspective. By doing less and letting things take their course, we can actually achieve more with less effort. It's like the difference between rowing against a strong current and floating with the river. You still reach your destination, but with much less struggle. But doesn't stepping back or doing less lead to complacency? If we don't keep pushing ourselves, how can we achieve our goals? Taoism doesn't suggest that we give up on our aspirations. Rather, it encourages us to act with awareness of our limits. It's about knowing when to work hard and when to rest, recognizing that life is not a race but a journey. By pacing ourselves and taking time to appreciate where we are, we can move forward in a way that's sustainable and rewarding. Sometimes, stepping back allows us to see a better path or gain the energy needed for the next challenge. In conclusion, finding balance in life means knowing when to push forward and when to step back. It's about living in harmony with life's natural rhythms and recognizing that moderation can lead to lasting success. Next, we'll explore the idea of unity through emptiness, where embracing what seems empty or useless can actually reveal hidden value and potential.
Have you ever felt completely at peace, as if everything in the world is connected and you're a part of it all? What if living in harmony isn't about doing more, but about embracing a deeper sense of unity and letting go of the need for control? Taoism teaches that finding this unity with the Tao brings true peace and understanding. The concept of unity with the Tao involves aligning ourselves with the natural flow of life and letting go of rigid thinking. It's about embracing the idea that everything is interconnected and that life is a series of cycles: birth and death, growth and decay, light and dark. For example, consider how a tree grows. It doesn't force itself to stretch toward the sky, nor does it rush the process of blooming and bearing fruit. It simply follows the natural flow of the seasons, growing steadily and letting nature take its course. Similarly, unity with the Tao means living in a way that doesn't resist change, but flows with it. But how can we truly achieve this sense of unity? Isn't it difficult to let go of control when we are used to planning everything in our lives? Taoism suggests that instead of trying to control outcomes, we should focus on aligning our actions with the natural rhythms of life. This means being adaptable and open to change, rather than fighting against it. For instance, when faced with unexpected challenges, we could view them as opportunities to grow, rather than as disruptions to our plans. By embracing what comes our way and responding with flexibility, we can find a deeper connection with the Tao. This approach contrasts sharply with how many people live today. In modern society, we often try to control every aspect of our lives, from planning our schedules down to the last detail to setting rigid goals for the future. While having plans and goals can be helpful, they can also create stress and disappointment when things don't go as expected. The Taoist idea of unity with the Tao offers a different way to live, one that accepts unpredictability as a natural part of life. This doesn't mean we shouldn't have goals, but that we should approach them with a mindset of flexibility and acceptance. But doesn't letting go of control mean that we are just going along with whatever happens, without direction? How can we achieve anything if we don't plan and work hard to make things happen? Taoism doesn't discourage effort or ambition, it simply encourages us to approach life with a sense of openness. Instead of clinging tightly to specific outcomes, we can set intentions and work toward them, but remain open to different possibilities along the way. By doing so, we are more likely to recognize new opportunities and adapt to changes that might lead us to even better results than we originally imagined. In conclusion, achieving unity with the Tao is about embracing life's natural flow and letting go of the need for strict control. It's a practice of aligning our actions with the cycles and rhythms of the world, allowing us to live with greater peace and flexibility. Next, we will explore how emptiness plays a role in Taoist thought, showing that what seems empty or useless can actually hold hidden value and potential.